back again. A little garden update, guys. It's been a while. So right now what's going on is the plants are getting their second wind, right? So they produced most of them really well, but now you got a whole bunch of little baby pods coming on. Look at this. Look at this MOA Scotch Bonnet plant. Look at the beautiful phenos on those. A little tail action. Yeah, perfect MOAs, man. Freaking perfect. And look at, they just go on forever. So this is the second round. Yeah, and I didn't fertilize these, and sometimes you don't get the second round. Some plants just don't do it. Now this is the Papa Dreadie. Look at how tall it is. It's the tallest plant I got, and this is the one I chopped down to nothing. I chopped it down to let it regenerate, because it'll usually produce really good. The only problem is that I did it a little bit late, and so yeah, I got flowers going though, but it's the middle of September. I don't know if that'll produce and if I'll have pods ripe before the first frost comes in. I could have, but a lot of flower action going on here. It's another Bohemian goat. There's one of those lemon yellow Papa Dreadies. This plant didn't really have much of a second push. I mean, it's there, right? You see them. Look at how weird those look. But that's the pheno I've had all along, from the isolated and non-isolated. There's some white knights though. Look at that beauty. Look at that pretty bastard. Back there, ghost pepper just hanging out. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Lots of the lemon spice, the NuMex lemon spice jalapenos. My daughter's pepper coming in for the win. She gets wrecked off of these, by the way. They're about 20,000 Scoville units, and she takes the bite off the end and then tries to get me to eat the rest. 7 pot primos in the 1 gallon pot. These little mini primos. Look at this. Let's show you how cute that is. They're still doing really good. I'm surprised, man. No fertilizer in a 1 gallon pot. This thing's just like, it's 4 plants, but it's all trellis. It's like one big plant. The lemon ghost jalapeno are starting to get a little bit stressed out, and then leaf curl, but they got tons of flowers. Last year I sent Eliza out to pick from one of these plants right before the frost. All the peppers were green. I ended up using them for, I think I made a barbecue sauce or something with it. Steak sauce, something. But it was hot still, even though they weren't ripe. But she picked 100 little peppers like that off of this plant. So there are some ripe ones I see lingering in the forest. There's another one. Yeah, so we got some ripies going on. So let me show you the other location. We're at the other location. So look at all these Jay's peaches ripening up like crazy. Yep. Look at you get the 7 Pot Primo Chocolates hiding. Look at, you can't see them from the top, but they're there. More ripe. Look at that. Ton of them. There's 4 or 5. Just a ton. Holy mackerel. So yeah, this is the raised beds. Doing pretty good. You see a little bit of nutrient deficiency because I haven't fertilized them, but you see the little yellow in leaves, but it's late in the season. It's even the trees are dropping leaves at this point. The peach reapers still got flowers. These are, yeah, they're not doing great. I mean, they're doing good. The plants are actually the tallest, the greenest, and these were covered with the most flowers. But this don't have heavy yields, man. It just doesn't. There's a ripey back there. Yoink. You know, so more 7 pot Primo chocolates here. More chocolates in the mist. What is that? Some sort of bug? What are you? Look at you. You think you're gonna eat my damn pepper? Hell no, he fell off. Yeah, look what he did to my pepper. Here, You can have it. I crushed him with the pepper. I don't know what kind of bug that was. It almost looked like a stink bug, but I seen one last time I was over here. Look at all the weeds, though. This is from the rains. The weeds were nothing like this a week ago. I haven't been over here in a week. This is what I love about raised beds is you give them a good watering, and if you got rain coming 4 or 5 days later, you can leave them for 2 weeks at a time, and there will be no ill effect. But look at the weeds. Look at the weeds growing up down underneath, man. It's pretty thick, but that's okay. Season's almost over. These plants got whatever pods they got on them, you know. Yeah. Ooh, look at that Primo. There's the death spiral camp. The death spiral camp over here. Growing all the way down into the, hanging over the edge. Lots of pods, man. Not all of them are ripe, but there's quite a few ripies on there. The death spiral camp. Yeah, doing really good. I'm definitely happy with the yields on the death spiral. I grew it a couple years ago. I think I only had 1 or 2 plants, but this pepper wrecks me, man. Bad. Like the whole argument a few years back about the Reaper versus the death spiral. Someone got their death spiral tested. It came back at like something like 1.2 or 1.3. I think it was 1.3. And everyone's like, see, the Reaper's hotter. And it's like, nah, man. There's Reapers that test at 1 flat, 1.1, 1.2, you know. We don't know the average on the death spiral. But I'll tell you one thing. Even if it doesn't test higher, or if they test the same, the death spiral is freaking way worse of a burn to the mouth. Way worse. Yeah. The only thing I don't like about them, they do have kind of a heavy floral, and that's because of the bubble gum in the back. So I think they're, what it was a bubblegum naga, is what the pepper was. Got a little tail on there. Beauty. I think it was a bubblegum naga, and Jim Duffy told me the story. So he's the one that gave it the name Death Spiral. I think he got the seeds from the UK or something, and they didn't have the bleeding calyx, so they were just came out like this, and so he called it Death Spiral and put it on the market. But yeah, it's a good producer, man. Really good producer. Look at all the weeds in here, guys. Isn't that pathetic? I think it was a month since I weeded this fully, but yeah, it's the end of the season, and I'm tired. And at this point, weeding is not going to do much anyway. We could get our first frost in a month. The way I look at it is let these pods that are on there ripen up, and then let this thing. And what I do, guys, is I leave all of this through the winter, right? I don't dig it up. I leave all this, let everything die, the weeds, everything, when it gets really cold. And then early March, me and Mrs. Bulcock come over and we peel all this off. Now it's a son of a gun, but we pick everything up by its roots, shake off the dirt, a little bit of it, and then we have this nice black, rich soil with lots of earthworms in it, and then I'll usually add some good organic soil and a little perlite to it, and then I let that kind of rest. Now you will get weeds that'll pop up out of that before you plant, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot of work. But yeah, man, raised beds. Love you guys.